Hello everybody, it is the Last Raider. We are back with another video, and today I'm going to do some Second Amendment stuff. So, y'all have been warned. One thing I'm going to do here is I'm just going to point out some hypocrisy with the President of the United States right now, or the supposed President of the United States, the retard in office, Joe Biden, sitting back here telling everyone that we need to ban assault weapons, we need to do all this nonsense. I want you to look at the images that are coming across the screen, because what you're seeing right now is Congress's response. Alright, they will tell you that you don't need the guns, you need to give up your guns to make everyone safer, you need to stop clinging to your Second Amendment. You got to think of the children and everything else. That, oh, if you just give up your guns, your life will be a whole lot better. But when it's their sorry ass on the line, they're erecting razor wire. They've got, what was it? They grabbed 2,000 guns. Not just any guns. They grabbed 2,000 actual military-grade weapon systems, which are M4s. I'm willing to bet some M249 light machine guns were in there. The M4 that the U.S. military uses is an automatic weapon, mind you. It's not semi-auto like the AR-15. You pull the trigger once on an AR-15 and one bullet comes out. That's it. It doesn't fire anymore until you release the trigger and pull it again. With the M4, they can literally just point in a direction, pull the trigger, and the gun does the rest of the work. They can unload 30 rounds of ammunition in a matter of seconds into a crowd of people if necessary. Mind you, you don't have access to that, but they do. It's funny to me because they also have, not just with the armed security, they also have metal detectors, which, if I recall, this was the plan of conservatives back during the Parkland shooting, in which they said we should get armed security and metal detectors into these schools. Because, and there's a reason for this, you'll find that more school shootings, which is the vast majority of your mass shootings, mind you, almost 90% of them, happen in schools that don't have metal detectors or armed security. Guess what schools do have metal detectors and armed security? Inner city schools. Inner city schools that have high degrees of gang violence, where the actual violence of there's a great chance of you dying in a gang shootout. Then you have almost a zero chance of dying at a school in a shootout in the inner city, because they have metal detectors, they have armed security. If something happens, they not only have the ability to respond to it, they have the ability to stop it when it gets to the door. They can catch these guns. It's not a matter of the gun slips into the school and then suddenly the terrorist is inside killing people. The easiest way to defend a position is to make sure your bad guy never gets in. If you catch him at the door, then you not only minimize the amount of people getting hurt, but you also stop him in the process. And guess what? You don't have to take away anybody else's guns. But we're not doing that. They want you to forget the fact that they have 20,000 guns showed up. Not only that, if I recall, Nancy Pelosi stepped out there at one point and said she wanted Crude machine guns defending the Capitol. Do you know what a Crude machine gun is? You're talking, it's not something you pick up and move as one man. You're talking a Dillon minigun, which is the weapon used by Jesse Ventura in Predator. That would just be a mounted version. Or an M2 50 cal machine gun, similar to what was used by Sylvester Stallone in the movie Rambo, where he's in Cambodia. All right, that's what they wanted at the Capitol. They will tell you, in their hypocrisy, that you don't need guns to defend yourself. And I'm not coming from a place of someone who's never experienced any violence in their life. I had a family member taken from me by gun violence. But the one thing that I noticed was the laws didn't work. We had laws that said the bastard wasn't supposed to have a gun because he was a felon. Not only was he a felon, but we found out later, after we lost a family member, and we had to go up there and deal with the person to keep him in jail because they kept wanting to parole his ass. We found out later that he was classified by the state of Illinois as a serial rapist. The problem with our society right now is not guns. The problem right now is, one, you have a lot of people that are depressed. Two, you got one group of the population who is being told that they are what's evil within the world. And honestly, here's the thing. Some people are not as honorable as others. You keep pushing someone and calling them a monster, eventually they will start acting like one. The problem that you have in this country right now, if you look at the shooters that are going out and shooting people, they're usually young men, and over 90% of them usually don't have a father in the home. That's not by accident. The guns are not the problem. The guns are the symptom. Just as the violence and the killings are the symptom. The bigger problem is you don't have a lot of men in the home. And the problem is, and I can tell you this by experience, society and the government and the state have made it very easy for homes to just be broken up. At one point in time, me and my wife, we ended up on some hard times, and we decided to try and use the food stamp system. You know, they got all these programs to help people when they're down, and we should take advantage of it while we're down. Went in there, and the woman behind the counter, I shit you not, told her, if you divorce your husband, we can get you more money. No lie. But yet, Joe Biden doesn't want to look at that as the problem. He wants to go after the guns. Probably because it's his gun control proposal that he put out, which was found to have no effect on crime. Now they're trying to say, oh, it might have had an effect on mass shootings. No, it didn't. There were still, during the time that this happened, Columbine, one of the worst mass shootings in history, I remember this, happened during the assault weapons ban. There was several mass shootings that happened during the assault weapons ban. It had zero effect on crime. It had zero effect on shootings, period. But it's Joe Biden's legacy. He's always quick to remind you that it was his legislation that didn't have any effect, that he wants to bring back, because that's one of his legacy items, and he's going to bring it back, damn it. Y'all people were just stupid for getting rid of it. All the while, he is protected by a literal army of guns. Guns that you and I cannot legally buy without ridiculous amounts of permits and background checks. If you can't see the hypocrisy here, and I can't help you. And I'm sorry for that, but that is just my honest truth. If you can't see the fact that Joe Biden is telling you to give up your guns while he is protected by a literal army. He literally has tens of thousands of guns defending his ass right now. And he has the gall to step out here and tell us we have to give up our guns. I think I'm gonna follow Joe Biden's example and not listen to what he says. I'm probably going to do like Joe Biden and not do as Joe Biden says. Anyway, folks, I am the Last Raider. Sorry for this type of video. For some of y'all that don't like it, I'll be back to the regularly scheduled stuff, but I just had to call out this hypocrisy here coming from the retard in chief. Anyway, stay safe, folks. Stay frosty. See you guys in the next video. Bye-bye now.